Hello Year 3, here's your GPS for the week beginning April the 27th. We're going to have a look at some examples together, do some practicing together, and then there's a very short exercise at the end for you to copy out, fill in the gaps, practice your beautiful leading lines and email your teacher when you've finished. We're going to look at when to use the word a and when to use the word an. An we use before a word that begins with a vowel sound. The vowels, if you remember, are A, E, I, O and U. We have to be very careful with that U sound because U doesn't actually start with a vowel sound. It starts with a Y sound. So if you see a noun or an adjective beginning with a U, you need to ask yourself, does it begin with an O or an OO, or does it begin with a Y? We'll have a practice at that in a little while. So a will be used before the words beginning with all the other letters, the consonants. Let's have a look at some examples. It's a beautiful day. The adjective beautiful doesn't begin with a vowel or a vowel sound, so we use the word a. She's a complete disaster. That adjective complete doesn't begin with a vowel or vowel sound, so we need the word a. Yesterday, she learned a list of new words. The noun list doesn't begin with a vowel or vowel sound, so we need the word a. They took a walk around the garden. The word walk doesn't begin with a vowel or vowel sound, so we need the word a. He saw an alligator at the zoo. Alligator begins with an a. It's a vowel, so we need the word an. A alligator is really hard to say it. Have a go. He saw a alligator. Now try saying he saw an alligator. It's much easier. That's an entertaining story. Entertaining begins with a vowel or vowel sound, so we need an. He saw an ordinary potato fly through the air. Ordinary begins with a letter O. It begins with a vowel sound or, so we need that word an. I wonder if you can put the words in the right columns. Do they need the word a before them or an? Can you say why they belong in each column? Quarter, because it begins with a consonant and not a vowel. What about the next word? Awful begins with a vowel sound, so it needs to have an before it. What about the next word? Library. Of course, it begins with a consonant. The next word, uncle, begins with a letter U. Does it begin with an U or OO sound, or does it begin with a Y sound? Where does it need to go? It begins with an U sound, a vowel sound, so it needs to have the word an before it. Let's have a look at the next word. Where does business go and why? Of course, because it begins with a consonant. The next word. Earth begins with a vowel. It begins with a vowel sound so it needs to go in the an column. Look carefully at the next word. Does it begin with an U or OO sound, or does it begin with a Y sound? Universe begins with a Y sound. So although it begins with a vowel, it doesn't begin with a vowel sound, and it needs the word a before it. Let's look at the last line now. Naughty needs the word a before it because it begins with a consonant. History begins with a consonant. Obvious begins with a vowel and a vowel sound. Be careful with that last word. Unit begins with a y sound, not an u or an oo, so it needs the word a before it. Let's have a look at some of those words in sentences now. Can you fill in the missing gaps? So only something, a quarter of the children did something daily exercise. That word quarter, does it begin with a vowel or a consonant? It begins with a consonant, so the word before it needs to be... Of course it does. That word daily, does it begin with a vowel or a consonant? It begins with a consonant, so the word before it needs to be... Excellent. Only a quarter of the children did a daily exercise. Let's look at the next sentence. Something, large group of people ordered something, ice cream. So the adjective large, does it begin with a vowel or a consonant? It begins with a consonant, so the word at the beginning of the sentence needs to be and don't forget the capital letter. A large group of people ordered ice cream. That word ice, does it begin with a vowel or a consonant? It begins with a vowel, so the word before it needs to be... Of course it does. An. A large group of people ordered an ice cream. Let's look at the last sentence. I really did see something unicorn wearing something orange swimsuit. That word unicorn, it begins with a letter U. It's a vowel, but is it a vowel sound? No, it's a y sound. So the word before it needs to be a. And that last word, orange, does it begin with a vowel or a consonant? It's a vowel sound, so the word before it will be an. Of course it will. I really did see a unicorn wearing an orange swimsuit. Let's move on to some examples where you can fill in the missing gaps. Can you freeze the video at this point, copy out each sentence and fill in the missing words where the dots are? You're going to need to use either the word a or the word an. Remember to ask yourself, what does that next word begin with? Does it begin with a vowel or a consonant? If it begins with a letter U, ask yourself, does it begin with an or oo sound, or does it begin with a y sound? You can either type this out on a word processor, or you can copy it out with those beautiful leading lines that I know you've been practicing and email a copy, a photograph, to your Year 3 teachers. See you again soon. Bye.